I think we're in the month of June. How can I tell? LGBTQ flags and rainbow reminders are everywhere as part of the propaganda to force the celebration of Pride Month. If you use email, an iPhone, social media, the internet, watch television, shop for groceries, or follow pro sports, you know it. It's everywhere. Now, it's not surprising the left is cramming this down people's throats. But what's sad is the compromise and capitulation of corporations, politicians, public schools, the Democrat media, and sadly, even many churches. I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. The rainbow has been hijacked. Now, God created the rainbow as a kind of beautiful promise to mankind not to destroy life on the earth by floodwaters ever again. Genesis 9:16 states, "When the rainbow is in the cloud, then I will look at it, to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth." Now, He sets the rainbow in the clouds as a symbol of hope and a reminder that God is both loving and just. Even though depravity and immorality today are worse than the days of Noah, He still hasn't judged us accordingly yet. I'd say He's being pretty patient, wouldn't you? The perverse and blatant misuse of the rainbow to represent what the Bible considers sinful behavior is further evidence of our culture being lost, or at least morally confused. Now, we must not conform to the world's ways, and yet, by our silence, we accommodate this rebellion against God. From advertisers and corporations, Hollywood and pro sports teams, to big tech and the media, breakfast cereals and kids' toys, it's clear to see the success of their manipulative cause. People have been deceived into believing LGBTQ individuals are always marginalized, right? The promotion of this narrative has been unparalleled. Author Peter Heck writes, "I'm not sure when the LGBT movement will feel comfortable moving on from the victim role they played to perfection and finally claim their unquestioned victory in the culture war. But who are we kidding? Can anyone say with a straight face that the gay rights movement hasn't won over the hearts and minds of pop culture?" The Biden-Harris administration saw to it that the military are all in, and even U.S. embassies around the world, including the Embassy to the Holy See. That's America's diplomatic outreach to the central government of the Catholic Church in Rome. They're flying the gay pride flag from their building. Peter Heck pointed out Georgetown University, the oldest Catholic institution of higher learning in the country, has an LGBTQ resource center, just like most universities, including Notre Dame. Now, some Catholic churches drape rainbow colors over the altar during pride masses. I'm not making this up. And some progressive Christian churches, I put Christian in quotes, have welcoming rainbow flags flying outside their buildings. But many of you may disagree with this next observation. If you believe in the one true God and the biblical worldview, however, you might see my point. There are politicians on the right catering to the leftists by promoting Pride Month, including Ronna McDaniel, Republican National Committee Chair. A social media post from the GOP official sent a confusing message by recognizing Pride Month while acknowledging religious objections to homosexuality in the same statement. So on Twitter, McDaniel also claimed the Republican Party has doubled our LGBTQ support over the last 4 years, and we will continue to grow our big tent by supporting measures that promote fairness and balanced protections for LGBTQ Americans and those with deeply held religious beliefs. End quote. Confusing? Yeah. Protections, special rights, just like passing the horrific Equality Act, perhaps. Well, conservatives and truth defenders are understandably upset with Republican leadership for lowering its standards to align with those who reject the truth of God and are anti-family and who deny biological facts. Now, Democrats have chosen their demonic platform, and they have their marching orders. But if Republicans want to win elections, compromise with the left and blurring the lines between parties is not a smart move. Jesus defined marriage as between one man and one woman, period. The biblical view of marriage and family mirrors a culturally conservative view. The traditional two-parent household, having a mother and father, strengthens communities, local schools, and is the foundation of Western civilization. So back to the sin of pride and the religion of sex. Christians must stand for truth and moral clarity. Peter Heck also pointed out that even if the church isn't insulted or offended by the act of misusing and perverting the rainbow, God is. And that's far more consequential. There are severe consequences when Christians and Americans take the path of least resistance. Proverbs 16:18 reminds us, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before stumbling. So, to proudly flaunt depravity is one thing, but to approve of and celebrate sin by being silent or by going with the flow is another. And true believers must not do either, but rather be set apart. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.